Hello.
Nobody at home. I will return later.
Meinasit.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Voinko mä en tiedä, mitä tässä pitää.
Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Pitääkö tonne ylös mennä?
As long as you have the money.
Nää vaijuma.
Its effectiveness has been proven by them.
Jäädy vielä. Hei, mä en tiedä oikeesti. Pitääks tässä niinkun... Tonne pitää mennä, mutta miten mä nyt tonne päätän? Häh? No, joo, hän on siinä, mutta mitä mä pääsen? Pääsen tonne.
There's no one in.
Voi pyhä. Jäämpöty siihen. Mä tiedän mitä tässä pitää tehdä. Ei varmaan tonnekaan kannata. Oho. Mitä vitsi? Mutta kun mä en
I
tiedä.
cannot enter.
Miksi se vaan voi mennä nuus vampyyrivoimilla vaan tonne? Kun olet ihan niin, mä en tiedä mihin pitää mennä. Tuolla on Dorothy. Ja miten mä edes tonne pääsen, kun mä en yksinkertaisesti tiedä. Sä oot yksin, kun sä et tiedä minne kannattaa mennä. No mä käyn kaikki kolmoset avara. Tulis joku vihje. Tää yksin joku on.
It's locked.
No älä. Mä en tiedä edes mitä kannattaa mennä. Aina mun kaikki kestää. Mitä infektikäyttäjyys? Haluan vain päästä jonnekin. Eiks päätös vampyyrivoimilla?
When science fails you, this elixir will give you... Swanborough cordial can be the answer.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again. There's nobody here. I cannot enter.
Mitä tässä pitää niinku tehdä? Mun on oikeasti pakko katsoa jostain Googlesta tai Googlesta, kun mikä se oli? Dario. Älä vaan sano, mihin mun pitää mukaan mennä. Että voi pyhä. Ei ole keskusesta tähän nyt. Ihan mitäs pitää sitten tehdä? Oho. Vitsi mä taas! Mä en tiennyt! Pitikö tää olla näin vaikee? Kani voi video!
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who was always...
Joo, ois pitää katsoa jo aikaisemmin tää vitsi.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Ei video.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
It's locked. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know
Mitäs
about
sitten?
Darius. Nearby the church, they...
Tytö jotain. Vain etsi Richardson. Mistä mä sen Richardson löydän?
Proven by many. Even the flu
Tänne
is
kai.
no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Tääkö sitä? No niin, vihdoinkin täällä päästään tännekin. Joskus tuntuu, että ite damake. Ui, jeesus, mä säikähdin.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay. Come on in. I'm
Millä äänellä tää oikein? Oikein puhu.
pain and suffering in this world.
No itse suiskas. Pitikö? No niinpä tietenkin. No, me ajateltiin olla nyt oikeassa paikassa.
It's locked.
No kyllä. Tässä sitten. Väärä paikka. Se tosissaan. Nää mun pitää niinku täällä tehdä.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Ai väärä paikka.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be
Toi ei kylläkään vaikuta hyvältä.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My
Peter's
father
one.
is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. Look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside.
Mulla on täällä live YouTubessa, että joo.
I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
Mulla
So
on
that's
live
why you stay at
YouTubessa.
home all day, for fear of the epidemic.
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Aha, me ollaan lähtenyt väärällä ovella.
Pain and suffering in this world.
Etsitään Clayton. Kyllä tää on
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
väärä
Dr.
ihme.
Reed. I would like to ask you a few
Kiva, kun
questions,
jotkut
if you don't
tappaa
mind.
mua ja yrittää ja toiset on silleen joo.
Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Ketä me etsitään eka? No eti. Puhutaan kaikkeen kaa.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar
Tää on
with
Clayton. Välillä.
reporter?
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if
Me
I
ollaan
may, sir.
suosittuja.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance. of
Wait,
theirs.
eikö sä ollut siellä sairaalapuolellakaan?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know
No
much
sitä mä
about
jo
the man.
tiedetään.
He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did.
Ja taas
I followed him,
puheet.
but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Mithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Mithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel,
Aha.
talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Sitten se Richard Joe. Kukas tää on? Pappi.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
Väärä henkilö.
Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Joo, en.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Looks bye. Missä?
The walls of your home are not
Missä on?
by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see the
Ehkä mä nyt täällä käytä sitä mun vampyyrivoimia, koska muuten se köpulee tää jossain hornetuksessa. Mitä? Miten mailbox? Mistäköhän se?
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more
Missä
leverage.
se? Kun mitä vitsi? Jostakin se Richard älä sanoi, että se tuolla noin. Ja se on. Mennään kirkkoon.
against malevolence and trickery.
Onneksi ne ei tajuu.
You are blinded
Good evening,
by your
Doctor.
false
Can I help you?
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
Missä se Richardson nyt on? Eiku, kuka se nyt oli? Joku. Missä se nyt on?
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Joo. Mennään nyt.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Missä videossa? Tääkö mun oikeesti käyttää niitä mun vampyyrivoimia? God. Mä olen jäädy. Tänne pitää mennä. Niin tonne pitää mennä. Mitä Richardson? Eiku Richard. Pitääkö tänne nyt mennä?
It's locked.
No niin, tietenkin. Tuonne kun pitää mennä, niin heti täällä on kaikki lukossa.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! I shall fear no evil!
This man stunned me with his face. His crucifix. This is not good news. It's locked, all right.
Taas sama paikallista.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
No tolle, mutta...
I cannot enter. It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked.
Miten on?
I cannot enter.
Miten mä onnistuin?
It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked.
Ai ja, voi pyhää huomenta. Nyt tarvitaan se pappi tänne. No etsitään se Richardson. No ei se täällä ole. Tää voi olla näin vaikea joku ihmisen löytää.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Tää on varmaan se Richard.
Please be my guest.
No onhan se
Although I may not be
tää
the best
papilta.
informed regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who
Sehän
lives in this
löytyykö?
vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of...
Pitää etsiä, okei.
Very mysterious. But sorry, no, never heard of her.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to
No,
insult him.
takaisin. Ja taas tänne Petruksen luo.
There is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
Christ, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Edes yksi. Yritetään vähän ryöstäen tätä.
I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's
Älä
having
sano,
trouble
että onko
keeping
joku
even
quick
water down.
time.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing.
Todella.
There's none to be
Tätä
found,
nyt.
doctor.
Vaan hyi!
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
Älä aita mua tähän!
What can I do, doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy.
En laita mua tällaiseen tilanteeseen. Mä tapataan tän melkein kohta.
Yes,
Sitten
doctor.
syytetään, että kuka sen teki. No minä tietenkin.
He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A total
Sun
costomy.
silmät on
Doctor,
punaiset.
we've nothing to fight the
Pelottaa.
infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, doctor.
Mä en osaa tätä.
He's still
Hyvästi.
bleeding, doctor. I'm losing
Hyvä
his pulse.
siirrätä. Musta on joku lääkäri, joo.
There's too much blood.
Are you alright, doctor?
No niin, se sekaan sitten.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source.
Koska mä tapataan tää tyyppi.
Needle and thread, doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, doctor.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Älä luulekko. Musta ei todellakaan tuu mikään lääkäri.
He's gone, doctor.
Yes. We did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Ei tässä lääkäri, joo. Ei tässä tule yhtään mitään. Jos musta tulee lääkäri, niin haisiko peruna.
There's something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Herra.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone.
Joo, viidessä.
So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Mitäs sitten tapahtuu? Kuolema koittaako? Tää videota.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Step away, sir.
Miten mä pääsen täältä?
Not a good place for a stroll.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Over there! There's one of them vermin! Eat this! Die, vermin! Crush the leech, boys!
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
Come on. Saaks parantaa itteni? No ei sitten, paita peruna. Minne pitää mennä? Tonne. Tonne! No voi nyt huo.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Eikö me taas väärään suuntaan?
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Burn it, boy!
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ah!
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood from weaker prey. We are Darwin's next chapter. His cynical and perhaps ultimate expression.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your
Hi.
blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right? Say I trust you. but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I bid you farewell, for now.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
But the risk of infection using vampire blood could compound the situation.
I know, but your blood now carries remarkable regenerative properties. With our minds and your blood, there's nothing we couldn't cure.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Over there! Easy on you, boys. Fucking fuck!
My dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
Somebody help! Who are you? What do you want? Somebody help!
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am
Vampyr.
Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery
Ihan
now.
menipä mä vampyyri sitten, että älä huoli. Tää no problemo. Mä sit vampyyri. Et oo tosissas. Vitsi kun mä en jaksa näitä. Älä sano mitään. No kuka tää nyt hoitaa? Mä tarviin verta. Ei mä haluu. Mä nyt tonne pääsen? Joo, tänne.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
Miten? Tämmönen itsekseen ei tarvitse etsiä.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live.
Joseph. Ja
And
joku
whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground.
Onks tää meidän äiti?
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Tää on meidän äiti kai.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold?
Se on äiti.
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic.
Oh my god.
Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Niin, mitä sä teit?
If I could only change one thing. One thing.
Stoppi, stoppi.
This is a nightmare.
Oi vittu, mun jalat. Out!
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How can I? I've destroyed my family. My poor mother. I can't even console her.
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
Thank you, my lady. I will.
Good. But be careful. If I found you here, others may too.
Ei olla kaikki vampyyrit täällä.
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace.
Siis ton verihän näkyy niinku...
No, Jonathan.
Ees kukaan oikeasti tajua, että toi on vampyyri? Vai onks näillä ihan sama, että... Kuka toi on? Ja joku vaan hei, hai. Mä mietin mikä toi Innu oli, mut joo. Ei nyt enää mitään tappojaa.
Turn around. Steady, boys! You've got one of them!
Saaks purraa? Vähän purra tätä.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn.
Mikä kaikki tää on vampyyri?
Guilt and pointless compassion.
Eikö tää oli barbari?
Shed your skin. Forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Tää on vampyyri, mitä videota nyt oikeesti?
Not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name
Miksi meidän pitää taistella, kun mehän ollaan vampyyrejä?
Will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
Okay.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
No hei, mä lähetään haneen. Siis toi ihan auttaa meitä sitten. Tai sitä AV-koneella hakalla.
Yes? What is it that you want?
Tää on
I'm sorry
Joseph.
to disturb you at such a late hour.
Joseph. Joseph
No
poika.
worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from
Eikö toi nyt oikeesti tajua, toi on vampyyri? Vampyri. Onks sä kaikki sokeita?
What I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chaplain. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage. Yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest. As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you
Nyt
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I'm so sorry, Mary. I promise to find who is responsible for all this. I'll put an end to this horror.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten.
Jaa, ois pitänyt vaan tunnustaa, että me tapettiin se, mutta en tiedä. Oisko se kääntänyt tän pelin? Mä luulen, että mitä tapahtuu. Taas mennään Edgarin luo. Voi pyhä pyyn.
Do I feel better?
Ja mä nyt sinne pääsen. En mä enää muista. Tääkö? Vois pitää vaan sanoa, että hei mä tapoin vahingossa mun siskon, koska mä olin semmosessa vallassa. Tai semmoisessa mä olin vampyyri, joku teki meistä vampyyri. Mä haluankin tietää, kuka teki meistä vampyyri. Koska se olisi aika... Se olisi hienoa nähdä, että kuka vitsi teki meistä. No, voit... No joo. Me lähdetään haneen täältä!
God walks with me.
Joo, mä olin lähdössä.
I'd head back if I were you, sir.
No joo.
Take a breath of this.
Mä en jaksa taistella. Kuka tää puhuu?
You. I remember you.
Mitä video? Kuka tää on?
Fear be gone. I would harm no
Tääkö teki meistä vampyyrin? Ok, sitten halleluja vaan.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature.
No sä teit meistä.
What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
My mission is to heal while you
Mun
go
olisi
about warring.
mun sairaala ja mun
Snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stone, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead, and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else.
Miten tää otetaan kuja veroja, että on... Miten yritetään olla ystävällinen?
More liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCallum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Oi voi. Milloinkohan tää loppuu tää peli?
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Piti tää Hampton. Hampton. Hampton vaan. Mä Hamptonin löydän. Me mennään tänne. Kauanko? Eikä sitä. Sitten. Minne? No voittako olla näin? Eteenpäinkö me mennään? No voi. Ei mennä. Stanne! Mä en halua nyt oikeesti. Saako parantaa itteni kun mä kuolen?
Best be on your way home. Go back home, idiot! Leech spotted! Watch out, boys!
Mun jääty, kuulkaapas. Tämä peli jääty. Mun peli jääty. Siis mun peli vaan jääty niinku. Okei.